Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back to the CSO Pro. Again, my name's Carson Cook, and today we're going to be talking about a very fun topic. Have had a lot of requests on this topic, guys. Very, very important topic. And this is the sales narrative hook. Now, this is just one little part of the steps to the sale in a step called stating the agenda. We're going to talk about why that is so important. So we're going to talk about 3 different things today. That's going to kind of allude to why it is important to have a sales narrative hook within your sales presentation. Why is it so important to have that in there when you're dealing with clients, especially in business-to-business sales or B2C sales or real estate sales, insurance sales. This part of the steps of the sale is extremely important, and it's definitely overlooked. I had a sales training today, guys, with a very strong sales rep that had been in sales for over 25 years, and this is a step that they used to use all the time within their steps to sale. And going through this, we had a little bit of a review on it and why it's so important, and it kind of light bulb went off in their head. They were just absolutely kind of remembered, like, whoa, I completely forgot that I used to do this all the time. We need to put this back into my process. So it's always learning, guys, always continue learning. The steps of the sale, guys, are the sales narrative hook, which topic today we're going to talk about the stating the agenda, number 1. Number 2 is we're going to give an example of why this is super important. And then number 3, or last not least, guys, we're going to talk about the last narrative hook statement, okay, or what is a sales narrative hook. Okay, so the first one is, that we're going to talk about, guys, is stating the agenda is usually step 2 within the sales process. Once there's a solid introduction of who you are, who you work with, exchanging information, whether it's through email or however it works, and then now you're face-to-face with your client or your potential client. The next step after that, before you get into discovery or what we would call qualifying, there needs to be, stating the agenda. Okay, stating the agenda is basically reading off the rest of the steps of the sale to your client, or basically going through an agenda with your client and making sure that they're completely understanding of that process, the step process. This is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. And that's vitally important, guys. It's giving them a roadmap of where the sale will go and what they can expect. Now, going through a sales process without doing this, guys, is exactly what we talk about in some of these other videos, is a big flaw with sales. Don't assume communication. Don't just start selling without an agreed upon agenda. Okay, now a good example of this, and we have 2 of them, so moving on to point 2, guys, is 2 very, very good examples. Corporate level examples. Has anyone ever been, and most of us have been, guys that have been in meetings, sales meetings or meetings without an agenda, drag on for hours with nothing, absolutely nothing getting accomplished. Nothing happens. Because we go off on tangents. This person says something, this person says something. It's like kindergarten, then this person says something. And then by the end of it, you look at your watch, okay, an hour and a half has gone by and not one single bullet point has been achieved because no one handed out an agenda for that meeting. Okay, so in order for groups to continue to move forward on a certain agenda or a goal towards the end of that meeting, accomplishing something, okay, you need to make sure that you have an agenda. We're gonna do this, then this, then this, then this, then boom, then we've achieved that, meeting over. Same thing with the steps of the sale, guys. If you plan on selling a customer or a client, you need to take them down a path. You need to take them down a process, but it can't just be you and your party that understands that process. Your customer needs to understand that process so that they can go down that process and arrive at the close. End of the meeting, perfect. Great example, okay? So that's just one of the examples, guys, right there, is just having an organized meeting, okay, or a structured set. Another good example that I like to point out for stating the agenda and why it's so important, okay, why it's so important is if you ever have been in class, okay? So for example, you've been in high school, or you've been in middle school, or you've been in college, and a teacher just walks in, looks at the students, turns around to the whiteboard, starts writing, gives the lesson, and leaves. Is that a good teacher or is that a bad teacher? That's a terrible, terrible, terrible teacher, because the students now don't know what to do. They don't know to pull their book out. They don't know what section to go to. They don't know what part of the course they're in that day for that week and what they're trying to accomplish with the course, or even if they're supposed to learn something. Okay, that is a teacher without stating the agenda. The teacher didn't come in. Now, a good teacher will come in, say, good morning, class, give the introduction, and start right with the agenda. Today, we're gonna do this, 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 and this, 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 and this. Your homework will be this, this, this on the board. then we're gonna do this. So go ahead and pull your book out and let's begin. Okay, that is stating the agenda. Okay, and that's vitally important to the steps of the sale. Too often I see sales professionals, young and old, non-experienced and experienced, will walk into a sale and completely not give an agenda to the customer. They will just start selling. They'll start with their process. And that's going to be a massive headache later down the road in the steps of the sale. So make sure that you state the agenda. And then the third and final thing that we want to talk about with this is the sales narrative hook. Now, what is that? Now, the end goal is the conclusion. So at the end of the agenda for the meeting, in my past example, you would say, we're going to cover this, 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 and this. And then at the very end of the meeting, what all this should have done is allowed all of us in this room in this meeting to accomplish this. Sound good? Everybody says yes, you start the meeting. Okay, in the sale, it works the same exact way. You're gonna say, well, I'm today, here's my introduction. My name's Carson, this is who I work for, and this is what I sell, this is what we do. So today we're gonna do this, this, and this. Maybe next week we'll do this, this, and this, or today we'll do this, this, and this. But at the end of all these things that we're gonna accomplish together, as you being my potential client, me being a product that I know you're gonna absolutely love, then at the end of it, we're gonna present it to you, and if your party's happy and my party's happy, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna ask for your business and we're gonna get you set up. How does that sound? And then you wait for that response. Okay, that little part right there, that little statement is the most important part of stating the agenda in step 2 or step 3 or whatever step you want to call it in stating the agenda is the most important part. That is explaining to your customer that you're going to do your job to explain all the information, but then at the end, my job, what I do as a sales professional and a professional communicator is that to judge whether you're happy and whether this product fits your business. And if it does, and you like it, and then we like it, and the terms are perfect, we're going to go ahead and ask for your business, and we're gonna get you set up. Now, once they say yes, that turns you into a professional salesman and not a professional billboard, which means you're not there to just give information out. You're there to sell. You're there to take them through a process. But you can't take a customer through any process unless you've defined that process with them. You've defined that path with them. You have shown them that treasure map with them. You said, we're gonna do this, and at the end, we're gonna find the treasure. Okay, and that's what they need to understand and you need to understand. So don't assume communication. Do not forget the most important part of stating the agenda, which is the sales narrative hook. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, this is Carson Cook, back at you again with the CSO Pro. Just wanted to put everything out there, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning into all the videos here on YouTube. I just wanted to point out to you guys real quick, just once again, this book will be going on sale May 1st this year, 2019. So coming up here pretty shortly, guys. And this is the No Shit Sales Journal, a confident, common sense, and practical guide to sales. Basically your Cliff Note version, okay, that can get you up to speed, guys, and give you a very solid foundation on how to sell. Now this book, guys, is not just for sales professionals. This book you need to buy and read. It will help your life with your family, your kids, pretty much anyone that you would like to communicate with and become better at communication. Okay, so make sure you go to Amazon, guys, and put in your pre-order right now. We'll include a link below. But this book, guys, is going to be going on sale May 1st. It's also, guys, been featured on the Sales Babble with Pat Helmers. You can tune in to find out a little bit more about the book at salesbabble.com. Very, very, very good podcast. Pat Helmers, guys, is a very standing guy within sales. Very, very, very solid reputation. Amazing podcast with some of the best techniques, communication techniques, tips and tricks for sales. So go to the salesbabble.com. I'll put that link in the description below. But guys, please make sure to pick up your copy on Amazon today. Get one right now. Thanks, guys.